What is up, everybody? Welcome to the USA Bassin Kayak Bassin Award Show, 11th month, November 29th, 2025. We have just wrapped up our first small lakes tournament of the year, so we've got the boys in the house. Um, so we're going to start off with Bruce a little bit here. Today was first small lakes event. So for those of you guys that didn't watch the last live episode that we did just Monday ago, small lakes is just it's kind of a hybrid mix. It's a single day tournament. It is kind of online, but it's any small lake underneath 400 acres in the state of Indiana, non-motorized lake, so it means if you can't run an outboard, you can't fish it. So it kind of focuses on your smaller lakes, like Starve Hollow, the Strip Pits, Griffey Lake, just different places like that kayakers have all come to love over the years. It's something that we fish often when we're starting out, and we still like to go back and hit them in between tournaments and different things like that. So what we did, we created a separate division all
Well, to
about
meet
small
people.
lakes. This is the first small lakes event of the year. We did one here in the fall to kind of test it out, get a trial run on it, and this is the trial run of the award show. So thanks for stopping by. If you're watching with us live, or if you're watching with us later on in the day. So that being said, let's jump right into this thing. We've got Bruce Bleacher, we've got Brian Crossan. They're two money finishers of the day. We're gonna kick it off with Bruce, man. First things first, we've got video evidence of your submission. So I'm gonna play that video real quick, Bruce.
Okay.
USA Bassin, 16 and a half. Caught at Lake Salina. Let me show them to the camera. There we go. Thank you, my friend. There he goes. Boom.
Nice.
So let's talk about your day, Bruce. Obviously, Lake Salina, however you are from Indiana and want to say it.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that catch and what you were seeing out there on the water. Obviously, it was cold as I'll get today.
It was freezing. I flat tore them up today. I think I caught 14 fish. I caught about 3 or 4 of them that were 11 and 3/4, a bunch of 10, 10 and a half. And I just got lucky towards the end of my time in there. Threw a D10 on their bluegill D10 and threw it out there on a log, reeled it in a few times and hooked into them.
Nice, man, nice. So what were the conditions that you're seeing, water temperature and so on?
The water there was 41 degrees and it was pretty windy.
I can imagine. Was you seeing any snow out there that far south?
No, I did not see no snow yet. It might have had a light mist, maybe a little rain mist, but wasn't much of nothing. It was just freezing cold and a little windy.
That is for sure. So what did you end up catching them on today? Like, what was your
The
presentation? What was
DT,
your pattern?
the Rapala at a Rapala, I guess the jointed Rapala that dove down about 8 foot, and then the DT10 was the only thing I could get a bite on today. But I flat tore them up on that Rapala jointed. They just ate it up.
Were you finding them off deep water, or were you still finding most of your fish up shallow?
No, I was throwing it up to the bank and reeling it out into the deep water, probably about 7 foot. But the
Not
big
bad,
one
man.
I caught, that 16 and a half, I caught him in about 2 foot of water underneath a log. So I was
Really?
surprised that something that big would be setting up that close to the bank under a log. But yeah, he bit that DT10 when I threw it up there and reeled it in. And it was a nice catch, good little fight. I had fun today.
Can't beat that, man. You can't beat that. Well, today that was good enough, man, to land you in second place. So, Bruce, you are going home with $75, courtesy of today's payout. So, second place, that's your award. Unfortunately, Mr. Brian Crossan, Railroad Crossan, if you will, the train tracks. You ended up taking home first place today. Tell us well, we got to do the honors here. Your big fish of the day. Let's take a look.
Oh my God, that's the biggest fish I've caught in a while.
Brian's big fish of the day, and that was good for just 19 3/4 inches. 19 3/4 inches is what it took to put that one on the board. So, Brian, give us a little bit about where you were at and some of the conditions you were seeing down there where you guys were fishing.
Well, we started out. We were going to a city lake in I guess that would be Boonville, Indiana, Scales Lake, and we drive all the way over there. It's probably, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes from the house, and we start back towards the lake, only to find out they had a barricade across the road when we got over there. And so I called the number and I'm like, hey, is the lake open? They're like, no, we're closed right now for tree trimming. So, me and my wife were kind of freaking out a little bit because we don't have a lot of small lakes down here, down south. So we start looking on DNR mapping where she was like, well, let's try Lincoln State Park. Lincoln has a little lake. So I look it up and it meets criteria. And we go on the DNR's website to call them real quick. And they drained their lake back in July, I believe it was. So I'm like, I have no idea where we're going to go now. And we're set up for Scales Lake, so we just have small stuff, we don't have any stuff for bigger fish. And
Right.
Looking on that DNR website, I found Interlake State Park, which is north of where we were at, probably a good 45 minutes or so north, up north of the interstate. So we decided to go there, and I called them first to make sure they were even open. And they were open. You could fish there. It met all the criteria. So we go there and put in, and I have to say it was miserable. it was miserable. I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting old, and it was cold and it was windy. But I started throwing a 4-inch tracer shad, one of mine that I make, and caught a fish. I don't know, second, third cast, I caught a little fish, and it was like a 10-inch fish. And then I went a little bit later, and I started throwing a Megabass 110, and caught another little fish. 5, 6 casts later, I'm like, I've got to put a pattern together. I got to find something. And of course, I don't have any electronics or nothing like that, so I'm just trying to look for transitional points and deep drop offs and stuff like that. And fishing a lake I've never been to in my life with no electronics, that was kind of fun. And so finally I ended up, I'm like, I'm just going to go old school, and I tied on a bladed jig, and I started whacking them on that bladed jig. I ended up catching 11 total, but there was only, everything was 11 inches, 10 inches, but we had a good bite. My wife ended up catching some on a bubblegum trick worm. That's what she caught her fish on. But again, they were all just small fish.
Well, to come away, with obviously the wind today, and we'll pop that up on the screen here so everybody can get a little quick view of this. Share. So obviously you had 32 inches. Your big fish was the 19 3/4. There she is in all of her glory. It's a toad, man, and to
Yeah.
be in a lake that was literally just remodeled and retooled, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was luck. I ain't gonna lie, it was pure luck. I didn't even, I'd probably, at that time, I'd probably caught 9 fish that were in that 8 to 11-inch range. And we were trying to get out of the wind, so we went back in the back pocket of this area we were in, and it was kind of like it was clear, so you could see where you were at. You're using old school sonar in my eyes and my head, and I could see I was on kind of a flat, and I could see how it transitioned, with the rock face and everything I was on. And just out of pure coincidence, I just chucked that bladed jig up on that flat, and it hit. and it fought. It went under the boat a couple times and back up, and compared to like that big fish I caught at Monroe, it was longer, but this fish probably had a good
Wide.
pound on that one.
Yeah, this one was a good wide one
Yeah,
compared to that one in that last tournament. Um, but it really it established your day, to say the least. Even without the second fish, that fish is big enough to take home the win for today, which is something. And talking about getting out of the wind, Lincoln, it's not. It's a pretty wide open lake too. I mean, there's not much place to hide down there in Santa Claus, Indiana. So I guess
yeah,
that was kind of your Christmas present. I mean, it's just down the road from Santa Claus, and yeah, good enough to
yeah.
catch
Because
on.
we were up there and hit that T Lakes there at Inner Lake, and it's kind of, I don't know. It's wide open. It really is. It's big, long, and once we got back up in the what I would call like the north part of it, um, we kind of got out of the major part of the wind a little bit. But and I mean, I'm thankful. And actually, I'll be honest with you and everybody else. I didn't even want to do this today. I was so cold, and my wife, she was like, yeah, let's go, let's go. And I have her to thank for every bit of it. Honestly, she's been the backbone behind me this whole year since we've been doing this all over again, and she hasn't stopped yet.
No, that's awesome that you guys are able to do that together. Yeah, that's really cool. Uh, Hate that she didn't score one today. Glad she did catch some fish. That's at least enough on a cold day to keep you going, keep you halfway warm while
Right.
you're out there freezing. Is if you're at least catching something, it adds to the motivation. Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, yeah. And we started hitting bad weather on the way back home. It started snowing and sleeting, and
Mm,
little ice pellets hitting us about halfway back home. And I was glad we were off the water when we were.
right. And with that being said, I mean, these conditions obviously wasn't ideal. If we'd have had this thing a week ago, it would have been a heck of a lot better. I mean, last weekend compared to this weekend is night and day to conditions. So congratulations to you guys, and thanks for toughing it out and getting out there and pulling off the win.
Well, it was fun. It was challenging, and as fishermen who like to do this, not just me, but we love a challenge, and today was definitely a challenge. Especially being on a new lake I've never been to before, catching fish. No electronics, no nothing, just old school little metal tackle box and two rods. That's all I had.
Not to mention you were paddling. I mean, a
Yeah,
lot of people
paddling.
a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, you're paddling in an older kayak,
Yeah,
not even a new one, a Jackson kayak Kraken, which is, you know, that says a lot about how you guys are fishing. You and your wife are both out there paddling.
right. Yeah, we kind of like I don't want to say traditional ways, but we like just being out there. And you can be out there in an older boat or a newer boat as long as you're getting out there. Just get out and fish and enjoy the outdoors. Get out of the house.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that oftentimes is overlooked about kayak fishing. It's about the experience that it offers. It's not about all the bells and whistles, even if affordability is really a cliche term of kayak fishing, but it's more about the experience that kayak fishing offers. And to catch something like a 19 and a half inch fish and not be locked down and have that fish spinning and at least get a good fight and get it to go underneath the boat a couple times. That's a pretty awesome moment that
Yeah,
you just
it
can't
was
replace
fun.
that.
It was fun for sure.
They even had the shakes. I cut that part of your video out for the people at home.
I, I
They didn't
did.
want to see your bloody fingers.
Oh, I probably sound like Ike and Ellie when I first caught it because I'm sure my wife could hear me screaming all the way back there because I kept screaming, "Oh, it's a big fish! Oh, it's a big fish!" Probably sound like Ike back there going nuts.
She said you were screaming like a little girl, is what she texted me.
Right? Yeah, she's probably right. She's right.
No, no. No, it's all good, man. So with your winnings today, you'll be taking home with the entries that we had. You take home $100 in cash for your win, and then we had 5 anglers in the battle, so that'll put you right at $50 extra for big fish.
Ooh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, so $150 coming your way for big fish and whatnot. Now for the goodies. Now for the goodies. So with this win, and since David he was out on the water today, obviously if you look at Tourney X, he was not not scoring any fish. He fished up in Indianapolis, so he battled probably the worst of the weather all day. Unfortunately, David lost his phone as well.
Oh,
Um, I do know he caught an 11-inch fish for sure. I've seen that photo come through. He shot me a little bit of a text earlier, so he would be your third place angler. But with your win today, and since I didn't end up fishing today, man, congratulations because you now are the fall division champion.
oh, awesome. Thank
You
you.
are, yeah, you are our first Hoosier Division Fall champion. This was a new series that we did with USA Bassin this year. We wanted to try fall, see what it was all about, and we got that running. But with your qualification, with your with your division championship win, you are now qualified for the Tournament of Champions that we'll have in conjunction with the 2026 Classic. Um, so yeah, you got a free entry to that and a chance. Now you've got a chance to win 2 brand new boats. You could pull off what Jordan Marshall did last year and take both the brand new boats home, or you could win one in the TOC and maybe miss out on the one in the Classic. So not everybody will be in the TOC, so that'll be fun. You've got 2 chances to win a brand new boat in 2026, man.
Awesome. That's awesome. And I can't thank USA Bass enough for doing all this, and it's really rejuvenated my blood. And like I said, I have nobody but the good Lord and my wife to thank for all this, for getting me back into this, and USA Bassin for being such a awesome tournament series. Something for everybody, and even something for me. So uh, very
Just no
honored.
retired guy.
Right, right.
You're not going to live that one down for at least a year.
No, no,
At the
I'll
end of
carry.
2026, we can unretire you officially.
Right,
We'll have to call it in, make sure your pension's okay with it. But yeah,
right,
keep winning too much big bass money. We might have to make a call about your retirement pension.
right. Get a new 401k or something like that, or start
Yeah,
adding
there
to
you
it.
go. Well, congratulations to you, man. I'm gonna let you go. I know it's been a busy day. We've drugged this thing out here for almost 20 minutes now, so we'll let you head off and thank all you guys for watching at home. We hope you enjoyed this sample taste of what the award show is going to kind of be like as we move through. Obviously, we'll have more divisions, more things going on every week. We'll have different guests coming on from every division around the states. So looking forward to doing these with you guys all summer long next year. And yeah, man, let's go bassing.
That's cool.
Night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you soon.